It's 6 a.m., the alarm goes off. Your eyes barely open, and without even realizing it, your mind starts racing. I have so much to do today. What if I mess up that presentation? Why did they treat me like that yesterday? I don't want to face the day. Does this sound familiar? Now imagine an alternative. You wake up, sit quietly for a minute and say to yourself, I'm grateful for this new day. I let go of what I cannot control. I choose compassion over reaction. Peace begins with me. Everything is temporary, and that's okay. Suddenly your body relaxes, your breath softens, and your heart opens. You're no longer rushing into the chaos of the day. You're entering it with awareness, with intention, and most importantly, with peace. And that's exactly what Buddhist monks have practiced for over 2,500 years. They begin their day not by checking their phone, not by stressing about what's next, but by checking in with their mind. You see, in Buddhism, the first thoughts of the morning are sacred. They're like the seed you plant into your consciousness, a seed that will blossom into how you feel, how you act, how you react, and how you live the entire day. But here's the truth. Most of us never think about what we think about. We allow stress, fear, regrets, deadlines, and the weight of the world to dominate our mornings before we've even brushed our teeth. And that's why we spend our whole day trying to chase peace, when in reality, peace was available the moment we opened our eyes. So today, in this video, I'm going to take you deep into 5 life-changing thoughts that you must tell yourself every single morning. If you want to experience calmness, clarity, emotional strength, and true inner peace, these aren't just motivational quotes. They're not random affirmations. These 5 thoughts come directly from the core of Buddhist philosophy, the teachings of the Buddha, and the practices that monks follow even today. And here's the best part. They're simple, they're powerful, and they require no time, no meditation cushion, no incense sticks. Just you, your breath, and a few moments of mindfulness. But let me ask you something real quick. When was the last time you truly felt peaceful? Not just happy, not just excited, not temporarily satisfied. I mean deeply peaceful, the kind of calm where nothing bothers you, nothing shakes you, and your heart feels light like a feather. If you're like most people, it's been a while. Because in today's world, we've been trained to chase everything except peace. We chase money, we chase love, we chase success, we chase validation on social media. But nobody teaches us how to wake up peacefully. Buddhism, however, teaches us this beautifully. It says that peace is not something you find outside. It is something you cultivate inside. And that cultivation begins with your morning thoughts. The first words you whisper into your own soul before the noise of the world takes over. So if you've been waking up feeling anxious, starting your day in frustration, getting triggered by little things throughout the day, feeling disconnected from yourself, then this video might just change your mornings. And if it changes your mornings, it will change your entire life. Because as the Buddha said, with our thoughts we make the world. Think about that for a second. You don't see the world as it is. You see the world as you are. And who you are begins with what you tell yourself. In monasteries, monks don't wake up and think, oh no, not another day. They wake up and think, another opportunity to practice, to love, to let go, to be aware, to awaken. They treat each morning like a rebirth. And you can too. But why should you care about Buddhist teachings? Why should you trust these 5 thoughts I'm about to share? Because Buddhism is not a religion of blind belief. It's a science of the mind. It's about observing your own thoughts, emotions, and patterns with deep awareness, and transforming suffering into liberation. And these 5 morning thoughts are tools for that transformation. They're not just mantras. They're medicine for your restless mind and heavy heart. They've been passed down through centuries, and today you get to experience their power, right from your bed, before the world even knows you're awake. Before we dive in, let me ask you one more thing. What if you could start your day without stress, without emotional baggage, without fear of the unknown, without reacting to negativity, and instead start your day with gratitude, compassion, clarity, calm, and inner strength? Wouldn't your day feel lighter? Wouldn't your heart feel freer? Wouldn't you live instead of just survive? So here's what we'll do together. In this video, we will explore each of the 5 thoughts, one by one. I'll explain the Buddhist teaching behind each one. I'll share how to practice it, how it changes your mind and energy, and how monks use it to stay peaceful no matter what's happening in the outside world. This isn't just spiritual theory. This is real-life practice. And by the end of this video, you'll not only know what to say each morning, you'll feel empowered to create your own peaceful mornings, no matter what your circumstances are. So, are you ready to stop waking up with chaos? Are you ready to take your power back, not from others, not from the world, but from your own restless mind? Then let's begin, because the first thought you think every morning is more powerful than your entire to-do list. Let's replace worry with wisdom. Let's replace stress with stillness. Let's replace overthinking with awareness. And let's begin with the first thought. I am grateful for this new day. Let's explore this deeply right now. Thought 1, I am grateful for this new day. Gratitude is the soil where peace blooms. And in Buddhism, gratitude isn't something you express only when life is going great. It's a practice, a daily choice, regardless of what the day brings. When a monk wakes up, the first thing he does isn't rush to his duties. He pauses, sits in stillness, and acknowledges one simple truth. I have been given another day to live. Breathe and walk the path of awareness. Why is this powerful? Because life is uncertain, nothing is promised. In Buddhist teachings, the concept of anicca, impermanence, reminds us that every breath is a gift, not a guarantee. When you start your day by telling yourself, I am grateful for this new day, you're reminding your mind that you are alive and that alone is precious. No matter what happened yesterday, today is a new beginning. Even the smallest moments, a warm cup of tea, sunlight through the window, the laughter of a loved one are worth appreciating. Buddhism teaches that suffering comes when we resist the present moment. Gratitude brings us back to it. How to practice? Upon waking, sit for just 1 minute and breathe deeply. With each breath, mentally say, thank you for this moment, thank you for this day. Focus not on what is missing, but on what already is. Remember, gratitude doesn't ignore pain. It simply refuses to let pain steal your joy. Thought 2, I let go of what I cannot control. This is where real peace begins. The Buddha once said, you only lose what you cling to. And what do we cling to the most? Outcomes, expectations, other people's behavior, the idea that life should go according to our plan. But life has its own flow. In Buddhism, the concept of letting go is not passive. It's not about giving up. It's about releasing the mental grip that causes suffering. Think about this. Have you ever started your morning already anxious about something in the future? A meeting later in the day? An argument with someone you love? Fear of something going wrong? That stress is a result of trying to control what is not in your hands. So what does Buddhism teach? Let go. Let go of what you cannot shape, fix, predict, or force. When you tell yourself, I let go of what I cannot control, you're freeing yourself. You're making space for calm. How to practice? Identify one worry in the morning that's heavy on your mind. Ask yourself, can I do something about it right now? If not, release it with your breath. Say, I surrender this to the flow of life. I trust the unfolding. Letting go is not weakness. It's wisdom. Thought 3, I choose compassion over reaction. Every day, we face moments that can trigger us. Someone cuts you off in traffic. A colleague speaks to you rudely. You open your phone and see something that upsets you. Here's the key difference between a reactive mind and a compassionate mind. A reactive mind fights back, defends, blames. A compassionate mind pauses, understands, responds with care. In Buddhism, this is known as metta, loving kindness. It doesn't mean you let others walk over you. It means you don't let others walk you away from your peace. When you say, I choose compassion over reaction, you're training your mind to respond from wisdom, not ego. The Buddha taught that when we respond to hatred with hatred, hatred multiplies. But when we respond with compassion, hatred dissolves. How to practice? In the morning, visualize a challenging person. Silently say, may you be happy. May you be free from suffering. I release all resentment. Throughout the day, if you feel triggered, pause, breathe, repeat, Compassion, not reaction. You don't have to win every argument. You just have to win your peace. Thought 4, peace begins with me. This is the heart of Buddhist practice. We often wait for the world to be peaceful before we feel peaceful. We think, if my partner changes, I'll be happy. If I get that job, I'll be at peace. If the noise stops, then I'll meditate. But the Buddha flips that script. Peace comes from within, do not seek it without. Your peace is not dependent on perfect conditions. It's a practice cultivated moment by moment, thought by thought. When you wake up and say, peace begins with me, you're reclaiming your power. You're no longer a victim of external chaos. You are the creator of your internal calm. How to practice? Before picking up your phone, sit in silence. With each inhale, say, I choose peace. With each exhale, it begins with me. Repeat this silently 10 times. Throughout your day, use this phrase as your shield. In traffic, in conflict, in overwhelm, let it be your anchor. Because peace doesn't wait for the world to calm down. Peace waits for you to remember it was within you all along. Thought 5, everything is temporary and that's okay. This is the master key, the truth that Buddhism holds above all. Everything changes. Nothing lasts forever. This too shall pass. Whether it's joy or sadness, pain or pleasure, gain or loss, it is all temporary. Why is this thought so freeing? Because it removes the illusion of permanence. We suffer when we try to hold on to the good and resist the bad. But the Buddha taught us that the way out of suffering is to embrace impermanence. So when you say to yourself each morning, everything is temporary and that's okay, you're reminding yourself that. You don't have to fear change. You don't have to grip tightly to what you love. You don't have to resist what hurts, because it will all pass. Just like the seasons, just like the clouds, just like every breath you take. How to practice? In the morning, reflect on something difficult you're facing. Say, this too shall pass. Everything is temporary. I can handle this moment. Smile gently, knowing that change is the only constant. This thought doesn't make you cold. It makes you courageous. Because you stop fearing the end, and you start loving what is. Final thoughts. These 5 morning thoughts are not just words. They are tools. They are the thoughts that monks and practitioners around the world use every morning to start their day with intention, presence, and wisdom. Let's recap. I am grateful for this new day for presence. I let go of what I cannot control for release. I choose compassion over reaction for emotional balance. Peace begins with me for empowerment. Everything is temporary, and that's okay for acceptance. You don't need more time. You don't need a perfect life. You just need to begin your day with intention. Let these thoughts guide you. Let them reshape your mornings. Let them soften your heart and sharpen your awareness. Because the most powerful way to change your life is to change the way you begin it. And remember, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. The Buddha, so think wisely, begin mindfully, and peace will follow.